Captivity by pirates, 75 BCE, the story of young Julius Caesar. In the year 75 BCE, a young Roman man, only 25 years old, was preparing for a journey. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar. At the time, Caesar was not the powerful general or dictator that we know from history. He was a rising star in Roman politics and had already gained attention due to his noble birth, intelligence, and courage. He had recently lost his post as a priest after the Roman dictator Sulla had taken power, and Caesar had wisely fled Rome to save his life. But by 75 BCE, Sulla was dead, and Caesar was returning to public life. He decided to travel to the island of Rhodes in the Aegean Sea to study oratory, the art of public speaking, under a famous Greek teacher named Apollonius Molon. With high hopes and a sense of adventure, Caesar boarded a ship and began his journey across the Mediterranean Sea. But fate had other plans. The Mediterranean, though beautiful, was also dangerous. Pirates, especially from a region called Cilicia in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, ruled the waters. These Cilician pirates were notorious. They attacked ships, kidnapped travelers, and demanded huge ransoms from wealthy Roman families. As Caesar's ship sailed near the coast of Asia Minor, it was suddenly surrounded by pirate ships. The pirates quickly boarded Caesar's ship, captured everyone on board, and took Caesar as a prisoner. They didn't know exactly who he was, but from his clothes, his manner, and his confidence, they guessed that he came from a noble Roman family. So, they decided to demand a ransom. The pirates asked for 20 talents of silver, a huge amount at the time. But Caesar laughed at them. He said, "Do you know who I am? I am worth at least 50 talents. Surprised by his boldness, the pirates agreed. Caesar then sent his followers to nearby cities to collect the ransom money. Now, Caesar was left alone with the pirates for nearly 40 days. But instead of behaving like a frightened prisoner, Caesar acted like a leader. He ordered the pirates around, joking that he would one day come back and punish them. He even told them he would have them all crucified, a common Roman punishment for criminals. The pirates laughed, thinking he was joking. But Caesar was not joking. During his captivity, Caesar treated the pirates more like companions than enemies. He participated in their games, wrote poems and speeches, and read them aloud. If the pirates didn't like his writing, he called them illiterate barbarians, and they laughed. Caesar would often demand silence when he wanted to sleep, and the pirates obeyed. They began to admire his confidence and bravery. Sometimes, Caesar would join them on deck and talk about Rome. He would speak of the Republic, the senators, and the generals. He would share his ambitions. The pirates listened, amused, and entertained. They could not believe that a man who was their prisoner acted as if he was the commander of a great army. Every morning, Caesar would walk on the deck, stretching, breathing in the salty sea air. He kept himself fit and alert. He never allowed despair to take over. His presence alone was enough to confuse the pirates. Was he mad? Or was he really someone special? Caesar even formed a sort of bond with some of the pirates. He gave them nicknames, played dice games with them, and told them stories from Roman mythology. In return, they gave him some freedom on the ship. He was not kept in chains. He was not locked in a dark cell. He walked freely, joked freely, and planned silently. Finally, after weeks passed, the ransom money arrived. Caesar was released. He stepped onto the shore with a calm face, but fire burned inside him. The moment he was free, he rushed to the city of Miletus. There, he demanded ships and soldiers. The local authorities hesitated. After all, Caesar had no official title. But his passion and presence won them over. They gave him a small fleet. With his newly formed navy, Caesar set sail. He knew where the pirates were. He had studied their paths, their habits, their hideouts. Within a few days, he found them again. There was a short battle, and Caesar won easily. The pirates were caught and brought to the prison in the city of Pergamon. The local governor was slow to act. He said he needed more time to decide what to do with the pirates. But Caesar was not a man of delay. He remembered the words he had spoken during his captivity. He had promised the pirates he would crucify them. Now, he intended to keep that promise. Without waiting for the governor's permission, Caesar took the pirates and had them crucified. But he remembered their kindness. They had not tortured him. They had allowed him to sleep, to read, and to write. For that, he showed mercy. He ordered that their throats be cut before crucifixion. It was a faster and less painful death. This act shocked many, but it also earned Caesar respect. People saw him as a man who kept his word. He was just, but also fierce. He did not forgive crime, but he remembered kindness. After this, Caesar returned to his studies in Rhodes. But the story of his capture and revenge had already spread. He was now known in Rome as a brave and clever man. This event became a key moment in his early life, a sign of the leader he would become. The seas of the Mediterranean never forgot the young Roman who turned his captivity into a lesson of courage and honor. And history remembers Julius Caesar not only as a ruler and a general, but also as a man who stood tall even in chains. Further reflections: Caesar's character in captivity. This chapter of Caesar's life reveals many things about his character. He was not only brave but also intelligent, witty, and disciplined. His ability to stay calm in a dangerous situation, and even take charge, shows his natural leadership. Caesar's interaction with the pirates shows another side of him, his charm. He could win over even his enemies. The pirates came to respect and like him. This power of persuasion would later help him rise in Roman politics, where winning support was as important as winning battles. His determination and ability to act fast were also important traits. Once released, he did not waste time. He gathered a fleet, chased the pirates, and punished them. He believed in justice, swift and strong. Even his sense of humor was a weapon. When he joked about being worth more ransom, or when he demanded silence to sleep, he showed control over the situation. He used words like swords. This skill would later make him a master speaker and a great leader of men. Historical context: the pirate threat. During the 1st century BCE, piracy was a serious problem in the Mediterranean. The Roman navy was weak, and pirates controlled the seas. They would attack merchant ships, steal goods, and take captives. The Cilician pirates, based in the rough mountains of southern Asia Minor, were the most feared. They were not just simple criminals. Some had small kingdoms. They were organized and powerful. Rome tried many times to defeat them, but the efforts were half-hearted. It was not until later, under the command of Pompey the Great, that piracy was truly crushed. Caesar's personal fight with the pirates was like a preview of what Rome would later do on a larger scale. His actions were brave, but they also showed what kind of man he was, a man who would not wait for orders if justice needed to be done. Conclusion: the making of a legend. The story of Caesar's capture by pirates is often told because it shows the spirit of a young man who would one day change the world. At just 25, Caesar showed the qualities that would make him a legend: bravery, leadership, intelligence, charm, and a deep sense of honor. He turned a dangerous situation into a moment of growth. He took control even when he was a prisoner. He kept his promise, acted with justice, and never forgot his dignity. This was just one chapter in the life of Julius Caesar. But it was a powerful one. It reminds us that even great leaders face danger. What matters is how they respond. Caesar faced pirates, and came back stronger. And that is why, even today, over 2,000 years later, we still tell the tale of the time when Julius Caesar was captured by pirates.